Hi, I'm David McCoy. Thanks for watching my Wwise demo reel. As part of an online course in Wwise from the School of Video Game Audio, I have replaced all of the audio in the open source first-person shooter, Cube. This includes sound design, recording, mixing, and mastering sound effects.
Let's get you out of there.
Composing and recording music and implementing all of this in Wwise to create an immersive audio experience for the player. I chose the Ruins level as it presented a linear story theme that I could build on. I decided to go against convention and made the main character female, and so recorded audio that would bring this across. From the beginning, the dialogue served this purpose and to set the scene.
Prof, come in. Prof, are you seeing this?
I'm getting the video feed now. What's that?
For the music for the big hall, I wanted a church feeling, so I composed slow moving music for organ and trumpet. This also gives a release of the tension in the rest of the level, which is full of monsters. I exported as a MIDI file and imported the organ part into my DAW. Then recorded the trumpet part to give a more realistic feeling. I added a church reverb send effect using pre-fader sends. And kept the dry sound at a low level. In the game, this gives the feeling of distant music in the church. The dialogue helps to reinforce the church idea.
This is in pristine condition. You'd better collect what you can. Who knows what we may find later on.
I exported the music in 4-bar phrases that I could use in Wwise as music segments in a playlist to create variation, rather than a simple recurring loop of 16 bars. The next area in the level is the water puzzle, where if you fall in the water, you have to go back to the beginning.
Don't fall in the water.
Got that. Thanks.
So I wrote music that's suspenseful and quick moving. Again, creating a playlist of different phrases in Wwise to keep the music from sounding too repetitive. This music is completely contrasting to the church music, so if the music abruptly changed in the game, it would sound very unnatural and would jolt the player from immersion. To facilitate a smooth musical change, I composed and recorded a short phrase that can change the key and tempo and introduce the new instruments and rhythms while still maintaining musical unity by employing a thematic motive. I then used Wwise's transition tools to fit it in between the two playlists, including a subtrack so that the transition has two possible variations, organ and trumpet or just organ. For the transition to occur in the game, I had to edit the level and create a trigger that would call a state change in Wwise. To create a unique sound for the chain gun ammo pickup, I used layers of sound I recorded myself using a chain, a small metal tin, and a belt buckle. I layered these in a montage in Wavelab. And adjusted levels, and panning to achieve the sound I wanted. To avoid listener fatigue, I created subtle variations by moving the samples around and rendering each change. In Wwise, these variations are in a random container. All of the user interface sounds are in a separate actor mixer from the other sounds. These sounds should not be affected by being in different environments, so the game-defined auxiliary sends is disabled for that actor mixer. It is also routed to a separate bus so that it is unaffected by the underwater state that applies a low-pass filter and volume attenuation to the other sound effects. To increase immersion in the game, I implemented the main character's breathing, which gets more panicked as the health decreases. To do this, I recorded 4 different types of breathing: calm, mostly calm, agitated, and panic. Then put each type in random containers, separated into in and out switch containers inside a sequence container, so that the breathing sounds natural when switching between the types. I used real-time game parameter automation to control the breathing. The player health parameter controls the switch and also the speed of the breathing. Just as the detail in visual environments impacts player immersion, auditory ambience is a subtle but powerful immersive component in a game. The ruins area feels very much like a garden, so I recorded ambience from my own garden. Using a high-pass filter to remove wind noise. Underwater, the sound of water in the character's ears makes it feel more realistic. In the water puzzle area, I also chose water sounds, but used a blend track with a sidechain so that when no monsters are around, the water is continuously rushing, but when monsters are nearby and making noise, the ambience is different. In Wwise, the ambience is controlled by the same state group as the music. An important part of ambience is reverb, particularly in areas where there is no identifiable ambience, like the church area. I tailored the 4 reverb channels to suit this level and create realistic auditory spaces. I then set specific areas in the game for game-defined auxiliary sends. Thanks for viewing my demo reel. If you want to see more of my work or ask any questions, feel free to contact me.
I guess you'll have to jump.